Hi, this video is about the Caribou Mathematics Contest. I'm going to show the solution for the October 2015 Grade 9-10 Contest, question 17, which also came up in the Grade 11-12 contest. So the question is, the path from one corner of a cube to another corner is called a locally shortest path, if any small variation of the path results in a longer total length. For example, a rubber string on a slippery surface would establish such a path. How long is the locally shortest path, A to BF to CH to H, shown in red on the following cube with side length 1 centimeter? So what we want to find out is the length of this red line, which we can see continues from the point H, crossing two lines and ending at point H. So starting at A, ending at H. Now what we need to realize is that if we unravel this cube's three sides, which are the three sides with the red line on it, well then the lengths of the line would still be the same. Now of course, just looking at it, we don't know the slopes of these lines, so we don't know at what given point they cross both of the lines BF and CG. So we will just show how this would look like. So here is how it would look like if we unraveled the three sides of the cube with the red line on them. Now we know that the red line, well, first we have here A, B, C, D, which are just like the A, B, C, D on the cube. And at the top of the cube we have E, F, G, H, which are exactly shown here, E, F, G, H. Okay. Now we know that the red line starts at A, and then it crosses the BF line at some given point, and it crosses the CG line at some given point, and it ends at H. But now, what we need to notice is that from the question, it says the path from one corner of a cube to another corner is called a locally shortest path. Okay. So it has the locally shortest path. Well, we need to think, well, what's the locally shortest path of one point to another given point? Well, it's just if you put a straight line in between those 2 points, which is of course the shortest path. So that means that the locally shortest path for this, which starts from A and ends at H, must be just a straight line going from A to H, which crosses the line BF and crosses the line CG. Okay. Alright, now this is what that line would look like if you unraveled it from the cube to just a 2D shape. Alright, now we want to find a way to calculate this line's length. Well, what we can see after drawing this line is that we now have a triangle shape. And what we also must realize is that since this is one of the sides of the cube, that means that this angle must be 90 degrees. And now since this angle is 90 degrees, now we know that we are dealing with a right triangle, and the triangle would be ADH. Okay. And now since we have the right triangle, to calculate this line's length, we can now use the Pythagorean theorem. Okay. And now what the Pythagorean theorem is it would be the hypotenuse length squared, which is this line, so AH squared, so AH squared, which is equal to the sum of the squares of the two other legs. And the two other legs are just the two other lines of the triangle. So that would be, now first we have to find the length of this long line, this side, and this side of the triangle. Well, since we know that this was one of the sides of the square of the cube, we know that this must be 1 centimeter. And it must be the exact same for down here for the sides. So they must also be 1 centimeter long each. Well, then we know that this line is 1, 2, 3 centimeters. So that means 3 squared is 9. So we have 9 plus, and we have 1 squared is just 1, so 9 plus 1, brackets, and of course we have centimeters squared. Okay. So this is equal to, well, what we have is 10 centimeters squared. But now we want to find just the line AH. We don't care what it is squared. So we have to find the square root of the right side, and of course square root of centimeters squared is just centimeters, and 9 plus 1 is 10, so 10 is not a perfect square, so we must just put square root of 10. So we know that the long line, the red line, which is the locally shortest path from the 2 points, the 2 corners, is the square root of 10 centimeters. And when we look at the options, we can see that the correct option is option E, square root of 10 centimeters. If you'd like to know more about this contest, please feel free to visit our website at cariboutests.com.